In this video, I will walk you through my career switch from business consultant to web developer at the age of 32. And with this story, I hope to inspire you to follow your passion as well. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Michael Awad. I'm a web developer from the Netherlands, and on this channel, I provide you with the tools and systems to make use of your time as efficiently as possible, because there are so many things to do in such a limited amount of time. So in this video, I'll walk you through the background to my software development career path and how I feel about it now. So the background of this story. As a kid, I was always interested in tech. So I was building websites in Dreamweaver and FrontPage, and also using Photoshop with that. So a logical career for me was to follow a technical degree, and that study was very similar to computer science. After that, I got offered a job at Accenture, a really big tech consultancy company. However, the role wasn't really technical, it was really more of a functional maintenance role. But I was young, you got a company car, the salary was good, so I thought, why not? So it was a really nice time, and as my career progressed, I moved on more towards project management and business consultancy, and so many different clients, big companies. But I always noticed that I was really focusing a lot of the Excel sheets, making them technical, big formulas and really complex. And that technical itch, it kept on coming back. And that time as well, I got my first son. I was thinking to myself, well, what if I ask my son, hey dad, do you like your work? Are you happy with your job? And I realized that that answer wasn't going to be yes. So with that technical itch I had in mind, I went to talk to one of my friends. He was a teacher at a coding bootcamp, and he told me, well, if you want to make a start in programming, then you need to follow this 2-month bootcamp, and at best you can start as a really junior web developer at a company to learn there. It sounds really easy, but I quit my job and I started learning how to code on that bootcamp. But I still had a mortgage to pay and a mouth to feed of a small baby. So that was tough. I really had to sacrifice, because it also took a lot of time to go to the bootcamp every day and being home late, having to do homework as well. But in the end, I managed to do it 2 months, almost every day, traveling 2 hours a day, including homework at home, learning to be a web developer. And in the end, when I was finished, it took me about 10 applications to land my first development job. And was I happy. It's the career path of software engineering where it started for me. So I started off as a junior full stack JavaScript developer at an accountancy firm, and there we had to build this accountancy platform for accountants and their clients, where they could connect to, upload documents, file taxes, stuff like that. And that was a really great time, because I was working front end and back end, and I had to opportunity to build the features starting from back end, going back to front end to end, which was really nice. And I had a really nice senior developer helping me there, giving me feedback and showing me the way. And the tech we used was Node.js, and more specifically the Feather.js framework, which I have a video I will link for you. And the front end was Vue.js. So I had a really good experience there, building the end-to-end features like I mentioned before, building authentication, login screens, everything. It was really nice. But after almost 1.5 years, they decided to move to another city, which for me was too far. In the meanwhile time, I had my second child, and the commute was just too long, and they wouldn't allow me to work from home. So there I had to look for something new. And when that moment came, I came across a big Dutch telecom provider where I got to work with Vue.js. And that was a really big plus for me because I had experience with that, so I decided to take the job. It was also a really nice experience there. A nice Vue front end connected to a big CMS, and the nice thing there was that we had content editors that could build their page in the CMS system, and we as front-enders could build the components for them, and also the menu, how they would fill in the text and how the menu for them looked. So that was really nice because there's a different way of thinking how you build your website, your front-end website, and it learned me a lot about architecture. We built all the screens maybe in 3 or 4 different screen sizes, which was also a really nice learning experience to build up your CSS skills, which was great. But in the end, I was just a fresh developer. I just was developing for 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, and I needed more variation. I needed more, a little bit more complicated work, because in my mind I was still a little bit behind. So I had to learn more, and I felt at this place I feel like a little bit that I'm stuck now, so I think I need to move on. So I don't know if it was a coincidence or not, but an old colleague from my previous job as consultant messaged me that he was working at a really big Dutch software company as a consultant, and he told me, hey Michael, if you like, you can drink a cup of coffee here. I think we need some technical people like you. So I went to the company and talked to the hiring manager there, and it was a really nice conversation, and I was thinking to myself, well, this consultancy background combined with the web development is something I can do here. So I think it would be actually a great match. So I decided to take the jump and go to that company. And at that company I was really at my place. Like I mentioned before, it was the consultancy combined with the web development, which made me really energetic, really passionate to work. So my first assignment there was at a Dutch bank, really big bank. They used Angular and TypeScript, and we built there the functionality that categorizes your groceries in your bank account, but for the business part. And that was really good for me, because there I learned Angular and TypeScript, and really made me think about how your front-end app should look in a big enterprise environment. So I learned a lot from that. And after a year I moved on. My manager asked me, well, we have this big project coming up for the government, a really prominent site at that time, something with the pandemic. So he asked me, well, if we are going to do that assignment, do you want to be the tech lead for that? So I said yes. So I became the tech lead for that assignment. Really big front-end website, open source, at its peak almost 4 million visitors daily. It was a really big site. Parallel to that, the company also had a reorganization, and I had the chance to apply as an engineering manager. So I did, and I also became that. So that's a really nice development in my career. So within 2 years time I started there as a developer, and now ended up as an engineering manager. So what did I learn from this journey? When you start a new career, you have to make sure you are willing to put in the extra work, because there's not a tutorial or a boot camp that will teach you how to do a skill. You have really, in this case, have to code to learn. It's like your driver's license, you know. When you start driving, then you learn the most, and that same thing applies to coding. Don't forget to have fun. You go to meetups, listen to development related podcasts, have some drinks with colleagues. Make sure you have fun in the process as well. And are you stuck on a coding issue? Don't try to fix it till 2 a.m. in the morning. Trust me, I did that a lot. It doesn't work. Just when you're almost finished with your day, it's 5 o'clock, just close your laptop, come back an hour later, or when you have had a walk outside, get a good night's sleep, look at it the next morning, and trust me, you will figure it out. There are some seniors out there who are willing to coach you and guide you because they want to do something back to the community. When you find a developer like that, grab onto them and don't let them go, because they will improve the speed of you learning a lot. And always stay on the driver's seat of your career. If you feel like you're not happy, you're not making a lot of progress, it's too far of a commute, take control yourself. Don't wait until it becomes better, because it won't. Just take control, and you don't have to quit your job, but just speak about it. And if you can arrange something, it's nice. If you cannot arrange something, then maybe it's time to move on. Just take control. Also, and when you make your first pull request, you will get some feedback that you maybe don't like, or that you feel personally attacked. But always remember that the feedback is on the code. And even though you wrote the code, it's not personal. The developers who are reviewing it just want the code to be as good as possible. So always keep that in mind. The feedback is not personal, and 9 out of 10 times you can learn a lot from it. When you come from a previous career, chances are really big those skills you learned there are not going to waste. So how I feel about this decision right now. In the beginning, I was really insecure, and I was from a senior consultant, I went back to a junior again, which does a lot with your ego and with your trust. So I really dealt with imposter syndrome a lot, several times, but as time progressed, it got really replaced by confidence. So it's just a big learning process. And now in 5 years, I made more progression in my career than my previous career, which lasted 10 years. So when passion is involved, you can go really fast, and you can put in extra work and you don't mind. It's never too late to start a new career when passion is involved. So I started this journey at the age of 32. I'm now 37 and I'm in a really good place. And 37 is not really old, so it's all relative and how you look at it. So if you like this video, then please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell to see when new videos are uploaded. And if you get any questions on a career switch, or if you're thinking about it, if you want to do it, if you also did a coding bootcamp, let me know in the comments.